Good evening, I'm Aviday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Nepal's several political changes yet to transform the lives of the public. Youths who should have been celebrating Democracy Day today seen queuing at language test for foreign employment. The schedule of the Mahasamiti meeting of Nepali Congress compromised on the first day today. Scheduled report not presented due to friction between party president and general secretary. Random use of antibiotics creating negative impacts on human health. Antibiotics being sold openly without needing prescriptions. Department of Drug Administration indifferent towards monitoring. And Nepal's national women's team yet to lift the title despite playing international cricket for almost 15 years. Absence of fitness coach attributed as the main reason. Several political changes of Nepal have yet to transform the lives of the public. Democracy was established in the country on 18th of February 1951 after overthrowing the 104-year-old autocratic Rana regime. 74 years since then, Nepal has transitioned from direct rule of the then king Panchayat system to federal democratic republicanism. Despite these political changes, the nation is yet to achieve economic prosperity. Countries that became independent around the period when democracy was established in Nepal have made tremendous progress. However, Nepal remains behind as Nepali nationals are compelled to seek foreign employment in those countries. At a time when the 74th Democracy Day was being marked today by organizing formal programs in Nepal, the youth population of the country was attending the language proficiency test for jobs in Korea, a country which became independent in 1948, which is only 3 years before democracy was established in Nepal. With Korea set to employ 16,000 Nepali nationals, more than 163,000 young Nepalese are attending the examination. Countries including Malaysia and India have made drastic progress since independence, while Nepal has been plagued with political issues, because of which Nepal's economy has remained poor and public life remains to be transformed. Nepal had begun periodic development plans 67 years ago. However, such plans failed to materialize because of the absence of political stability. By the 15th five-year plan, Nepal remained in the list of least developed countries. The national economy is focused on trade, but industries have yet to grow. The annual trade deficit figures at more than 1.8 trillion rupees, which is larger than the budget. Employment is the most contentious issue in Nepal, as more than 2,000 youths leave the country every day to seek foreign jobs. 1 among 5 Nepali nationals are under the poverty line. Failure in ensuring proportionate distribution of resources has led to the failure in curbing poverty. The public had supported several revolutions, many even lost their lives. However, they are yet to feel any changes in the country or in their lives because of the failure of the leadership and the absence of political stability. While politicians continue assuring prosperity and good governance, corruption and irregularities have remained intact. If the leadership does not correct itself, such a situation is likely to persist for a long period of time. On the occasion of Democracy Day, Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal said earlier this morning that he was minutely observing the challenges in ensuring good governance, social justice, and prosperity. However, his own cabinet includes 3 ministers who are under pressure to furnish their resignations for their involvement in different scandals. The Council of Ministers of the government, led by Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal, who regularly shares assurances of good governance, includes ministers facing allegations. Prime Minister Dahal has not asked them to quit their roles to ensure fair investigation. There are 3 ministers in the cabinet who are facing wide pressure to resign from their posts. The investigation committee formed to probe the unfortunate incident in Lalitpur's Balkumari, which resulted in the death of 2 youths on 29th of December last year, questioned the role of Minister for Fiscal Infrastructure and Transport, Prakash Jwala. The report has already reached the Prime Minister through the Ministry of Home Affairs. Minister Jwala still holds his position despite being found guilty by the commission formed by the government. Another member of Dahal's cabinet, Minister for Health and Population Mohan Bahadur Basnet is being investigated by the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority CIAA for his alleged involvement in the Terramox scandal. The anti-graft body has already recorded a statement from Minister Basnet. Despite reaching the CIAA in his office vehicle to record his statement, Basnet is yet to furnish his resignation. Minister for Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation Sudan Kirati, who had facilitated the decision of leasing the land against the law through the Lumbini Development Trust, is also facing severe criticisms. These three ministers, who have violated laws and have been investigated and found involved, must have resigned by now on moral grounds. However, neither have they facilitated investigations by furnishing resignations, nor has the Prime Minister suspended them. Along with Communication Ministers Mohan Bahadur Basnet and Gyanendra Bahadur Karki, Chief Secretary of the Government of Nepal, Vaikunta Aryal, was also alleged of involvement in the Terramox case. Another official drawn into controversy is Secretary General of the Parliament Secretariat, Padma Prasad Pandey. He has been alleged of holding 2 citizenship certificates and passports. The Vice Chairperson of Lumbini Development Trust is another individual alleged of having a role in the leasing of land alongside Minister Kirati. Analysts are of the opinion such individuals being investigated by state entities remaining in their positions is likely to have a direct impact on the investigation and not ensure good governance. The government has been claiming good governance, social justice and economic prosperity among its priorities. However, failure in walking the talk will lead to a situation where nobody will believe the slogan of good governance of Prime Minister Dahal any longer. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces, how have the public used the rights ensured by democracy? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जति प्रजातन्त्रले दिनुपर्ने हो त्यो भन्दा धेरै दिइसकेको छ तर त्यो चाहिँ ग्राउन्ड लेभलमा जनतासम्म पुगिरहेको अवस्था छैन
सही नेतृत्व नभएको कारणले नै प्रजातन्त्र लोकतन्त्रको अभ्यास हामी गर्न सकिरहेको छैन
लोकतन्त्रमा केही पनि पाएन सिर्फ लुटेर अरु पायो
प्रजातन्त्र आएदेखि खुलेर बाहिर आएको महसुस चाहिँ हामीले गरेका छौं हामी महिलाहरूले
जति स्वतन्त्रता पूर्वक हामी बाँचिरहेका छौं हामीले एउटा कुरा खुलेर भन्न सकेका छौं यो त्यसकै उपलब्धि हो
जुन खालको एउटा आश्वासन थियो त्यो अनुसारको चाहिँ फेरि व्यवहारमा देखिन्न
आफ्नो मनको कुराहरू पोख्न पाइन्छ
पाउने भनेको जुन अगुवाहरू जुन मान्छेहरू छन् उनीहरुले मात्र पाए
समूहहरू गठन गर्नदेखि लिएर स्वतन्त्र पूर्वक बोल्ने अवसर मिलेको छ
आफ्नो कुरा खुलेर बोल्न पाइरहेको छ तमाम जनताहरूले चाहिँ यसरी तपाईले प्रश्न सोध्या जसरी चाहिँ आफ्नो प्रश्न हरेक ठाउँमा राख्न पाउनु भएको छ
आफू स्वतन्त्र रूपमा बोल्न पाएका छन्
The schedule of the Mahasamiti meeting of Nepali Congress has been compromised following disputes on the organizational report. The Mahasamiti meeting of the largest party of the ruling alliance in Nepali Congress, which began at 2:15 this afternoon at the conference center in Godavari, Lalitpur, was halted after the inaugural session. Party President Sher Bahadur Deuba disagreed with the organizational report of Party General Secretary Gagan Thapa, which was against electoral alliances, and called for the meeting of the officials at his residence by pushing the closed session. Inaugurating the Mahasamiti meeting, Deuba had said that electoral alliances depended on the need of the moment. He also added that now was not the time to comment on the coalition. Deuba said that the amendment of the Constitution could be discussed on topics other than administrative mechanism. Nepali Congress Vice President Dhanaraj Gurung said that the proposal to investigate the properties of those holding public positions from the party, ranging from ward chairpersons to ministers, had to be endorsed. Around 2,200 representatives are attending the meeting, which will continue for a period of 4 days. At the closed sessions, Party Vice President Purna Bahadur Kharga is to present his policy report, while General Secretary Gagan Thapa is to furnish the organizational report, and another General Secretary, Vishnu Prakash Sharma, is to present his political report. Minister for Finance, Prakash Sharan Mahat, is to present the financial report, while another central member, Shyam Ghimire, is to furnish the report of the Accounts Committee. The meeting has begun with plans including revising policies and changing the working mechanism of the leadership. However, senior leaders are divided on the reports. The local administration, Parsa, issued a curfew in the Birganj metropolis area today for an indefinite period. The curfew has been imposed from 5 this evening and will continue until further notice. After a rally took place in Birganj this afternoon in protest of the dispute in Isnath municipality of Rohtahat on the immersing of the idol of Saraswati last Saturday, the local administration imposed the curfew to prevent untoward incidents from occurring. The notice has barred local residents from venturing out of their home during the curfew period and has also prohibited them from organizing any kind of assembly or gathering. Meanwhile, the idol of Saraswati, which was left stranded on the street in Rohtahat's Isnath since the past 3 days, was finally immersed today amid tight security. The local administration imposed curfew for the 3rd consecutive day today in ward numbers 2 to 7 of Isnath municipality. The random use of antibiotics creates negative impacts on human health. Using antibiotics without the prescription of doctors can lead to a day when the antibiotics will stop working entirely. Antibiotics must be used upon the prescription from doctors following correct diagnosis of diseases. However, in recent days, the use of antibiotics has increased without prescription from the doctors or on the basis of suggestions from the pharmacies, which is dangerous. The random use of antibiotics leads to germs like bacteria and fungi developing the ability to defeat the drugs designed to kill them, meaning antimicrobial resistance is developed in human bodies. Such problems have begun surfacing among patients in Nepal as well. Antibiotics are used to treat or prevent some types of bacterial infection, and they work by killing bacteria or preventing them from spreading. However, Nepal's legal arrangements of the Drugs Act 1978 prohibit the use of such drugs without prescription from the doctors. But these drugs are being sold even without the prescriptions. Regulating authority, the Department of Drug Administration, has not recorded a single complaint regarding the use of antibiotics without prescriptions, while it has not been able to conduct required monitoring either. According to the World Health Organization, failure to address the problems related to antimicrobial resistance could lead to 10 million deaths each year by 2050. Such problems could have severe impact in developing countries like ours. Experts have also called for the government to implement laws regarding sales and distribution of antibiotics and formulation of clear criteria. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what should be done to ensure the timely completion of Kathmandu Tarai Madesh Fast Track? 32% voted for A, erase legal complications, 22% for B, flexibility from government, and 46% for C, monitoring and regulation. And here's today's question. What should be done to discourage the random use of antibiotics? Your options are A, prohibit sales without prescription, B, strengthen regulation, and C, patients should be aware. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. We have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break.
Sports news.
The Nepali national women's cricket team is without a title despite the lapse of a decade and a half since their international journey began. Malaysia, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait, who began their journey after Nepal, have moved way ahead. The Nepali Eves wasted their golden opportunity to lift the ACC Women's Premier Cup this time as well. Having lost to Malaysia in the semi-final, Nepal also failed to qualify for the Asia Cup. The performance of Nepal still depends on the roles of senior players. The plight of having lost the golden opportunity was visible on the faces of the members of the women's national cricket team as they returned home after participating at the ACC Premier Cup. The dream of playing the Asia Cup met a sour fate as the Nepali Eves gifted the opportunity to Malaysia with a sour defeat from a winning position. It was Nepal's third loss against Malaysia in the past 6 matches. Had Nepal won the match, the Nepali Eves would have played the Asia Cup after 2012 and 2016. More opportunities would have opened as well. However, all hopes crashed for Team Nepal. Fitness, or the lack of it, appeared an area of major concern for Nepal at the Premier Cup. The Nepali Eves made a brilliant start at the tournament. Rubina Chetri remained unbeaten at 118 runs against the Maldives and became the first Nepali woman cricketer to score a century for the country. Sita Ranamagar also picked a hat-trick against Kuwait and became the second Nepali woman cricketer to achieve the feat after Rubina. Sita is the player from the first batch of Nepali women cricketers. The Nepal women's national cricket team are still depending on Sita and Rubina, who are in the twilight of their careers. Skipper Indu is shouldering the responsibility of the transfer of generation in the squad. However, new and emerging players have yet to play a match-winning innings. Team Nepal have also lost the opportunity of playing the T20 World Cup global qualifiers. An injury for Pooja Mahato before the semi-final turned out to be expensive for Nepal. Meanwhile, this tournament has also come as an opportunity for Nepali women's cricket to resume from the drawing board. It is imperative for the Cricket Association of Nepal to make serious assessments and plannings as well. The Netherlands have thrashed Namibia by 7 wickets at the ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 series. In the match played at the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Ground in Kantipur today, Namibia were put to bat where they did not have an ideal start and kept losing wickets at regular intervals before being bundled out at 123 runs in 35.1 overs. J.J. Smith top scored for Namibia with 26 runs. Ruben Trumpelman added 20 and Zane Green scored 19, while none of the other batters made notable contributions. Aryan Dutt was the pick of the Dutch bowlers with 6 wickets. Carl Kleen had 2 scalps, while Rolef van der Merwe and Max O'Dowd shared a wicket apiece. In reply, the Netherlands chased the target with 136 runs to spare. I beg your pardon, 136 balls to spare. Opener Michael Levitt top scored with 57 runs. Max added 28, while Bastelide remained unbeaten at 21 alongside skipper Scott Edwards, who was not out at 4 runs. Gerhard Erasmus picked all 3 wickets for Namibia. With this, Namibia, the Netherlands, and host Nepal have 2 points each after 3 matches. Nepal will next play Namibia in their 3rd match of the series on Wednesday. Prior to this, Nepal had suffered a 4-wicket defeat against Namibia last Thursday. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.